Hello everybody. Continuing on the painting series. The next step we do, this is I think part 4. Step 4. Okay, we're going to do some mottling. Now I've already got my mottling sponges here. I've used them before. I reuse these guys. I don't throw them away every time. But I'm going to show you how to make one. You just take your tweezers and you take your cosmetic wedge and you just kind of take the sides off, and it don't have to be perfect, guys. You just keep pulling the sides off like so. Go all the way around the edges. And once you get all 4 edges gone around, kind of bring it down some, then you just go in the center and just, this is how you make your sponges, your mottling sponges. And just, that's how you do it. Okay? I just wanted to give you guys an idea of how I do it. But that'll be your mottling sponges. And I just reuse mine over and over and over again, guys, because I just don't see the point in, you know, wasting them like that, because you can use them over and over. It doesn't hurt a thing. So, anyway, I have mine already here. I have 4, as you can see. And this is going to be pretty long on this mottling, guys, so I may have to make this one in 2 parts, doing the mottling. But I have 4 different colors, and this is the 4 colors we're going to use on mottling. Now, some go as far as to use 6 colors, but I don't do that. I think it's too much. Now, I do, however, like a lot of mottling. I'm a person, I like a lot of mottling, but, you know, I don't know. I kind of think more than 4 is kind of overkill. But, I mean, to me, that's just my opinion. But, you know, to each his own. So, we're going to do 4. Okay, we're going to take our, which we don't need this much, but guys, as I said before, this is the only measuring spoon I have. And this will be our first mottling color. Okay, the first one I'm going to use is, this is one of the ones that comes from Bountiful Baby. It's pre-mixed. I do use some of these pre-mixed colors just on other things. This is supposed to be a veining color. This is called Vein Blue. You get it from Bountiful Baby. This is just a little small one, because on these I don't use a lot of these colors. And as you can see, it's pretty dried up a little bit. It's been a while since I've had to mix any of that. But anyways, here's our stuff right here, our mineral spirits. And I'm going to, now, like I said, blue is overpowering. So we have to be careful how much we put in here, guys. So I'm just going to do one side of the brush, that little quarter brush. And I'm going to mix that in, and I'm going to see how that's going to look. This may be dark enough. Now, you don't want these colors too dark. You want them kind of translucent, but you want them like the veining. You want them to show, you know, but subtly. Okay, I'm going to swap one more time, and I'm pretty sure that's all I need. So we'll say 1 brush on that to a tablespoon of mineral spirits. Then that you can still see through it, but it's dark. So that's pretty good. And while I was doing that, guys, I got that paint all over my glove again. Oh, man. Let me change my glove again real quick. Hang on. But I may have to wind up doing this one in 2 parts, guys, because this is, we're going to do 4 of these mottling layers. And I may have to do it in 2 parts. I'm not sure that it'll all fit on this one thing. Okay, so what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to take, where we mix that, we're going to stir it up. Now, each time on these paints, when you put it back on there, you need to stir these paints back up, because the paint does settle at the bottom and leave the thinner at the top. So, just give it a good stir, and then just take and put it on your sponge, just like that. Just brush it over your sponge. Make sure your sponge all over is wet. And then what I do is I take and I dab it over here just to get a lot of the, so it's not too wet. Excuse me, guys. I got a little bit strangled there. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is, we're just going to put this all over everywhere, this blue. Now, I'm going to test it and make sure it's not too blue. And it may be a little bit bluer than I like. So, I'm going to dab that off a little more. I don't know. I may have to add a little bit more thinner to that, guys, because that's pretty blue. We'll try it. Try it like that. Now, when you're doing this, you're going to think, oh, my Lord, that's too much. If you do think it's too much, what you do is where you've mixed this, if it's too dark, leaving it to, this is okay though. It's going to be okay. Just add you a little bit more thinners in it and thin it down some more to where it's not as much paint. You see what you do? You just touch, touch, touch. All everywhere. Everywhere you can find. You just touch it. Some people, what they call a roll. I don't like to do that. I mean, that's okay for anybody else. That's what they want to do, you know, but this is just how I do it. And I just go all over the leg with this color. In between these colors, guys, you don't have to bake every time. Not while you're doing the mottling layers. I'll show you what I mean in a minute when we get ready for our next one. All you do is just make sure you got it everywhere. And that looks pretty good. See? Then we're going to hang it up on my little hanger over here. I am. And going to let it dry. Flash off. Okay? While that's doing that, we're going to go on to our next one. And be sure to stir your paint so it's good and stirred. Kind of put it on there again, just like you done before. Do a couple of blots over here where it's not two, maybe 2 or 3 blots. And then just, and see that's still got too much on it, so I'm going to blot it a little more. I just don't want it super heavy. Okay? Okay, we're going to keep going with it. Just like that. Yeah. See? It'll look good once it dries. I know it's probably looking kind of weird right now. And I know when I first done this, put all these different colors on there. When I was first learning this, I mean, from where, you know, how I was doing it, I thought, oh gosh, that's awful. That's going to look terrible. I'm not having that. It don't. Not once you get everything on here and get it together. It don't. It looks really good, guys. It looks exactly like a, you know, blood and stuff under the skin. Just like you've seen a little baby that their skin is, what, you know, mottled. It's kind of red in places and blue in places and purple in places. And that's what this is. And it makes it look like it, you know, it's real blood under the skin, rather. I'm going to watch my time on this, guys, because we've got to do 4 of these. So I'm pretty sure I'll have to split this into 2 videos. Because there's 4 of these goes on. But you don't have to bake in between. It's a good thing on the mottling colors. You know, you can, like, after it flashes, once it flashes off, you just start over again with a different color. And you keep going from that. Oh, hopefully I'm in frame, guys. Sorry about that. I'm just so used to working. I work pretty close up to my body. And just like that. That's your first mottling layer. And it'll look good. It will. I'm telling you, trust me. Just trust me on this. Once you get it done, it's going to look great. Don't look like it when you're first putting it on there. It's like I told you, my first one, I thought, ooh, I don't know about this. When I first started doing the pretty heavy mottling. But honestly, I love it now. I love the mottling on them. The heavier it is, the more I like it. I think it just, I don't know, it just makes the skin, you know, it looks so real. It's got all these purples and blues and reds. See, and you just keep going with that. Then you just let it hang it up on the little hanger. Well, if you don't have one, you could let it lay, but you know, don't smear it if you can keep from it. You know, when you lay it down, be careful and don't smear it, because it's not going to look as good if it's smeared. So you don't want it smeared. That's the reason I got my little hangers over here. I just kind of hang it up until it flashes off. And that's the other arm. I'll show you something about the head when we get to that part, which we're fixing to go on the head. The back of the head, I do quite a bit of mottling on, but what I want to tell you is when we get around to the face, I don't add no more paint if I don't have to, because I don't want it real heavy on the face. Very light on the face. Some people don't even put it on the face at all, the mottling. They'll just do around this way in the back of the head and leave the rest. But I don't know. I think that looks weird when you do that. So this is just my own preferences, guys. Not, like I said, not saying anybody's wrong. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, always, you know this is from the first, wear gloves if you're touching the kit. And you don't want to touch this after you've done this till it dries. It flashes off. You have to sit it down and let it dry. Don't touch it even with the gloves. So you can see I go a little bit behind the ears just to give that little ear just a little color. And then I'm going up on top of the head. Sometimes you squeeze your sponge that way and get a little bit more paint out, because I don't want to go in and reload this unless I have to. Now sometimes I won't have enough paint at all and I have to reload it. But I don't like to, because it just puts too much. If you do that, it puts too much paint to me on the face. So I want to go over that ear, and then I'm going to go around the neck, and I want to get every place I can get before I actually go into the face. You know, go up here around the head and the temples, and then go across, just like that. And you don't have to do it real slow. I don't. I just pounce on. Pounce it on. You don't want to go back over the same spot, though, 2 or 3 times. Just, if you can, just go over that one spot. Now, if you you know, if you're doing it and you hit it a little bit, it won't hurt nothing. But just try to avoid it if you can, going back over and over the same spot. Because if you do, what you're going to wind up with is just a solid color. And you're not going to wind up with your little holy looking effect. You know, it looks like it's got little holes in it. And if you go over it too much, then you're not going to wind up with that. And that's what you're after, is that effect of make it look like splotches, not just a dab of paint. Okay, guys, that's the first mottling layer. We're done with that. That's it. You just let it sit and dry, or what they say, flash off. That head turns over every time. It won't stay. Oh well, I'm going to have to leave her like that. That's the best I can do. Okay, guys, that's all of the blue. If it looks good to you, you got enough on there, then that's it. You move on to the next mottling layer. And that'll be it for the blue for now. Then, the next color we're going to add, let me see what time I've got. Yeah, I could probably do one more. And then I'll have to do the other 2 on another video. The next color we're going to come up with is called a dirty purple. And this is, you got to get your thinners in there. And the dirty purple is made of ultramarine blue and Pyral Red 02. And this is all Genesis paint. Genesis heat set paint. That's what your dirty purple is going to be made out of. Like, we call it a dirty purple, or that's what I call it. It kind of looks like it's a dark purple. Yeah, that's ultramarine blue. I started to, whoops, messed up. But no, that is. Okay, so we're going to put like a brush of that in there. A brush, you remember, is on both sides. A swipe on both sides. It's ultramarine blue. I got little pieces in there. I don't want it to, those pieces, because they'll get on my kit when I put it up there and I won't see it, and it'll leave just dots. Look like dots on her. So get that all blended in good. May have to add a little bit more once we get done with this, but we'll see. Okay, this is your Pyral Red. We're going to start out with a swipe on both sides. Let's see what we got when we come up with that. I think that's going to probably be enough. And no, I'm going to have a little bit more blue. I got a little too much red there. That's okay. We'll just go right back in with our blue. And I'll add another swipe of that blue on one side and see what that comes up with. See how it's getting like a purpley look? It's not reddish, but it's getting purple, a dark purple. One more swipe. Do it till it looks just like a dark purple. If you get too much red, just add a little bit more blue. And see this? Can you see that? See how it looks purple? That's what you want. Is that dark, dirty looking purple. This is another mottling layer, guys, that we were doing right now. The first one, that's considered your first one. Then we'll do this color's considered a second layer. And we'll do 2 more colors after that, because like I said, I like lots of mottling. Now, if you don't like these a lot of mottling layers, guys, you don't have to use these, all of them. But the same thing. You just go in, stir up your paint. We're gonna make sure it's not too dark. If it's too dark, then we're just gonna add a little bit more thinners and thin it down a little bit more. I don't have a real recipe for my paints. I just kind of know how I want them to look now. So we'll dab it off there. And then this foot, leg and foot, we just put that on. It's already flashed off. And when I say flashed off, it means it's dried. You'll look and you won't see any more shiny, wet looking stuff. Okay. Gotta hurry because I can't go. No, that's too much. We're gonna dab it. Now this may actually be a little bit too dark, guys, and I think it's gonna be. So I'm actually gonna dry some of that up. And that's gonna be a little bit darker than I like it. I'm gonna add just a little bit more thinners in there. Just a little bit too dark purple. Okay, then I'll dry that sponge out over here on my paper towel. I need to change my my paper towels out. I'm getting a little bit dirty there. Okay, I'll do that before I come back with the next mottling layer, and then we'll try it now. Yeah, now see, that's much better. It's just a little bit too dark for me. Okay, we'll do the same thing we did a while ago. We're just gonna like just tap, tap, tap it all over. I mean, you can roll it however you want to do it. I just give it a little tap. I just try not to go back over the same place twice. Sometimes you have to, just a little. But if you have to, like I did just there, that's okay. Just don't, you know, try not to do it too much. Because, see, you might not get some like in between some places there. Now, I'm not going to show you all the limbs, guys. I did on the other one, but I'm not going to because it's just the same thing. But you do that. You just go over it just like we did last time, except you're going to do the dirty purple. I'll do a leg for you. I'll do an arm for you and the head, and then I'll leave that rest up to you. Forgot to tell you in the last video, guys, when we finished the, as I said, I'm new at this, and it didn't dawn on me until after I got off the video. You know, after you do those, we done the bluing, if you remember in the last video, and the veining. Okay, once you get that done, you have to bake it before you do this. So bake it 8 minutes at 265 degrees. And then let it completely cool, and then you can start this mottling layer. And I forgot to mention that. Well, I'm trying. That's all I know, guys. I'm trying. I've never done any of this stuff and teaching anybody. Nobody taught me. I learned it on my own. And it's hard when you don't have somebody to show you everything, because then you're having to do a lot of trial and error. Okay? See that? Isn't that pretty mixed on top of that blue? Looks great. Okay, then we'll go with one more, and that will be the head coming around the face, just like we done the blue. And then I'll leave it up to you to do the rest. Then what you do is, once we do this, you do the same thing. We'll leave it to sit to flash off, and then I'll be back in the next video and show you guys how to do the next mottling layer. So dab, dab, dab. Get some of that off there. You don't want it too heavy. And just go all over. Just put your little. Isn't it? See? That's good. Oh, it's looking good. That looks great. Now, I know when you look at it, and you're thinking just like me, that's the way I was. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's too much. It's too much. But I'm telling you guys, we're going to have so many layers on after this. This is going to be under all the flesh layers and all that. And it just gives the illusion of, you know, blood and stuff like that and under the skin. That's what it does. We're going to have layers that's going to go with this, so don't panic, don't panic. And like I said, if you put on something you don't like, just wipe it away until it's baked. It's not permanent until it's baked. So if it's something you don't care for, then, you know, either don't do it or just wipe it away. Very simple. And like I remember, you know, like I told you guys, get as much paint out all over everywhere else before you get to the face, because you don't want you want some color in it, but you don't want it to look real splotchy in the face, or I don't. Like I say, now guys, these rules this is not set in stone. This is just my way of doing it. Other people may have their way of doing it. This is mine. Okay, I got that, and we're going to let that sit and flash off. Now, if you look at a place and you think, like there on the back of the head, it looks like it's not hardly enough there to me. I'm going to take a little bit more of this purple. I'm going to mix that up again. Take just a little bit more of the purple. Dab it off just a little. And then I'm going to hit that place right there where it looks like I didn't get any. Right in there. And I don't think I did, guys. I think I kind of skipped some of it. You can look at it and tell, though, guys. It's just look at it over good. And right now, I honestly can't see good because it's nighttime, and I don't have my daylight coming through the window. And so, you know, it's harder to do in the night. You can see better during the daylight hours because it gives you natural light, you know, through the windows. But that looks pretty good. Okay, guys, you don't have to bake right now. Now, I'll come back in another video. I'm going to stop this one, and I'll come back in another one. Just go on to the next one. When we get done with this, go to the next one, and I'll have part 2 of the mottling. Okay, guys, see you in a few minutes.